This is Christine with Trustee Training Services and 11-month-old Paige. It's her final day of boot camp and we're ready to get her out for the first time today. So she's been in her nighttime crate and we're going to just show you how we incorporate training and structure immediately into her day to get the day started off on the right foot. I'm going to walk into the room, not make eye contact with her. I don't even want to create excitement, give her the wait posture. And as long as she stays reasonably calm, I'm going to go ahead and proceed to unlock the crate. I will pause once the crate is unlocked. I will get tall because that is what is going to help her stay calm, is tall posture. Once I have her eyes, I'm going to open the door and then I will proceed with leashing her, watching for any lead-ups of her coming forward and out of the crate. She's doing much better with that. See how she's staying tall through. Give her the wait posture as soon as she comes out. Wait for focus. And then something really important with this particular dog is that after I start going forward, I need to immediately halt. Otherwise, she makes a mistake almost every time of getting ahead of the handler. Let's go. Good. Let's go. The frequent halts help her stay focused and remind her of where she is supposed to walk. Let's go. I'm watching her focus as we walk. If I see that she is not checking in with me with her eyes, let's go. I'm going to halt because if she is not looking at me, she's not thinking about me. And I don't want to have to correct her more than is necessary. So I'm going to proactively help her keep her focus on me. I'm also going to use putting on my shoes as a training opportunity. This is a very overlooked training opportunity in the winter. I use putting on all my winter gear as a training opportunity. I want her to learn to use self-control and maintain her sit while I take on all kinds of positions. I don't want her lying down. I want her sitting. Because if she lies down, she's going to be closer to me. I don't want her crawling and migrating my direction. I want her to learn to stay put. This is a very good test. I also want her to know that the lower my face is, the further away she's to stay unless she's invited into my personal space, which prepares her to be more respectful of young children. I gave her the wait posture. She's leaning forward. I don't like that. Shh. She has a little itch on her neck, I can tell. So I want her sitting nice and tall because leaning forward is a lead up to coming through the door. And I don't want her thinking about coming through the door. I want to reward the thought of staying through. Back to the wait posture. Occasionally she will not stop at me or immediately sit, and at those times I just pop her right back in the door. And we do a redo. A redo is very effective with an older dog because we're leveraging forward progress as our primary motivating factor on this exercise. So when things go backwards instead of forwards, it's a great correction. Paige, let's go. As I walk with her, there are rules to the walk. When I say let's go, it's like a heel. So I do not want her nose to the ground. I want her nose off the ground. I'm going to do pace changes to test her attentiveness. So I'll speed up and slow down. And giving her something to think about, making the walk interesting, is part of what is going to help her make good choices. She won't get as distracted by the birds and everything. Through. If I'm giving her something to think about every few seconds, it really helps a young dog. Let's go. I'm always waiting for the eyes before I go forward. Nose has to stay off the ground, but the leash is loose. No marker for trying to go to the ground with her nose. She has to sit and look at me to transition to the next step. Potty. And then there's clear body language. As I fan her off to the side, I use my hand in a sweeping motion to help her understand what I want her to do, and the circle pattern is what is helping her know that it's time to go to the bathroom. And I will keep her in the circle until she either does all her business or until she looks at me, comes in and looks at me and sits, which tells me she no longer has any business to do. She normally does both on her first trip out, so we're going to certainly try for that before we move into any kind of activities with her. We don't want the circle to be huge, but sometimes extra motion helps her get her plumbing working better. So I want to make a big enough circle to help her leave it. And I'm going to keep her moving because she does not need to stop and sniff to go to the bathroom. In fact, if she's stopping and getting hung up on a scent, it's just going to waste both of our time. And we won't be able to move forward to the next thing. So we'll just keep her moving. And the motion is what's going to help her have a bowel movement. Especially when you want your dog to have a bowel movement, the key is keep them moving. The more you let them stop, the harder it is for them to have one. And there she goes. See, no need to stop and sniff. She's just going to stop and squat when she feels the urge. And that helps you have a very time-efficient potty routine. Good. And then she's going to sit, and I'm going to do a leash lift to help because she's not sitting. There we go. And the no marker is very, very helpful as well when you want a dog to understand that what they're doing isn't what you want them to do. Wait for the eyes. Let's go. And throw random halts in to help her stay focused. Let's go. And slow downs and speed ups and slow downs and speed ups and halts. Good. Let's go. All of these things help the dog stay mentally engaged with the handler. Wait. As they get older, you can phase those out. She's sitting back nicely. She's looking at me. Through. Good. Now at this point in the morning, the last couple days, I've been starting to pet her and interact with her after we get back into the fence. And the goal is to begin to teach her to maintain her level of calm even when she's being pet. Good girl, Paige. Good girl. Let's go. Watching the eyes all the time. Where the eyes are is where the mind is. Good girl. Focus. Let's go. She's getting too far ahead. So we'll correct. Focus. Let's go. Saw me step in front of her to kind of get her eye. Good. Focus. Let's go. Good. Let's go. The more quickly she gives me her focus, the more quickly we move forward. Because that's what young dogs want to do. They want to move. As I reach for her tug toy, she knows what's going to happen. So see, she's intently looking at the tug toy. And what I'm going to do is make sure I have it. Don't want any ropes hanging down when I bring it my way. But I'm only going to grab it and move forward with it when she's focusing on me. Good. I want to make sure that I have the end of it, which is what I'm going to hang on to when I drop it. And now she's going to work for the game. Let's go. Good. Let's go. We're working on about turns. She's She started to get a little ahead, so I gave her the no marker. Let's go. Good. Let's go. Oh, this is much better than yesterday. So you see the little hoppiness? That's a lead up to jumping. So I'm going to shut it down and I'm going to make her sit here for a timeout because she started to over escalate. Let's go. Excitement will never get the game to move forward. Only calm behavior. Let's go. Good. Let's go. Good. Let's go. That was excellent. Let's go. Good. Yes. So yes is a marker word. That means you're released from the behavior that I've just asked you for. And you were successful. So yes marks success. It also constitutes a release. Good. And I'm going to let her initially, on her very first time having the tug, I'm going to let her blow some of the hot energy that she has from overnight. So one of the things I like to do is just keep moving in a circle with her and let her run off some of that crazy energy before I ask her to release. Because everything we do is motivated by what will help the dog be successful. Good. Give. Good. Wait. Shh. Put her back to where she was. Wait. Yes. Good. Give. Yes. So she gave that up really nicely, and I accidentally dropped it, so give. Yes. When she gives it up nicely, then I want to make sure that I give it back quickly still at this point until she doesn't have any trouble giving up the toy quickly every single time. I want to make sure that when she gives it up quickly, she gets it back quickly. If she struggles to give it up, then I make her work for it more. It's a training opportunity. So it's really a win-win. If she gives it up quickly, it's a win. If she doesn't give it up quickly, it's a win because we get to work on more things. Give. So that was not quickly enough. So we're going to put her back to work, making sure that before I move forward, I want to make sure I'm organized, that I have the end that I need to hang on to. Let's go. And she's going to have to heel now to get the toy back. Good. Down. Yes. Good girl. Yeah. another thing that I want to point out is that because dogs notice the most subtle body language, one of the things that I consistently do, if you look back at me stepping in front of her after the last give, one of the things you'll notice is the reason she knew to stay instead of come with me is that I stepped off with my right foot. So when I want her to go with me, I always step off with the leg closest to her, which in this case is the left, because she's on my left side. Give. Yes. Good girl. So I want to make sure that I don't confuse her at all. So not only do I usually try to tell her wait, I didn't that particular time, but she knew because I stepped off with the opposite leg that I was asking her to stay where she was. Good. Yeah. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, such a good girl. This game will keep you in shape as well. It's very, very cardiovascular with a handler too. Give. Shh. So she did not give it up when asked, which means she does not get it back right away. Very important to maintain consistency. Also notice when I go down, she's in play drive. I'm not going to go down quickly. She's going to jump at me or make a mistake if I do that. So the higher the dog's excitement level is, the slower you need to move when you don't want to trigger motion. Let's go. Notice I step off with my left foot. She's getting ahead of me. So you stop, turn into her. Let's go. Want her to watch that front line and stay where she belongs. Good. Let's go. Excellent. Wait. Step off with the right foot. Down. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. And because she didn't give it up willingly last time, I'm going to ask it back for it back fairly quickly. Give. Yes. And give it back quickly if she gives quickly. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. Good girl. I love this game because you can incorporate all kinds of training into it. And you can still meet the dog's core needs. By nature, dogs are predators, not pets. So they all have a desire to chase after things. And some have a stronger killer instinct than others. But this is a great game to give them an outlet for those natural drives that are wired into them. I can tell she's fatiguing a little bit, so we'll end the game fairly soon. Give. Yes. I'll also let her catch it a little bit more quickly if she gets more tired. Good girl. So notice that I am also leading with the command give when I want her to give the toy up. I do not reel it in first. I say give first. And the reason why that's so important is because you want to lead with whatever you want the dog to respect and respond to most. So eventually I want to be able to say the command give and just get her to release the toy. Give. Yes. Good girl. I don't let her bite more than a few inches above the tug. So if she does bite higher on the rope, I just ask her to give it up again. Also, evidence that she's getting tired is that she's taking the inside track on the circle, which you have to be careful because once they start to do that, you can actually get hurt as a handler. So yesterday, she knocked me right off my feet. She didn't mean to, but she came on the inside track and she ran right into my legs. So be aware that the more tired they get, the less they're going to want to run during the game. Good girl. Give. Wait. Here. Yes. So we threw a recall in there as well. Girl. Give. At this point, I'm looking for a really good give, and that was one. Down. Shh. Good. It's yours. And that's where I'm going to end the game. Good girl. Good girl. She gets the prize at the end of the game. So, to help her be more ready and willing to release something to me, I have to show her that I'm a giver, not a taker. And one of the ways I do that with puppies is to make sure that at the end of the game, they always get the toy back. This is Christine with Trusty Training Services, training built on trust. Happy training.